a woman's body has to go through the 9 months and then pushing the baby out at the end. So the goal is to go into your pregnancy maybe 20, 30% in better shape than you were before. We're not talking about, you don't need to be an elite athlete or anything like that, but we're talking core stability, we're talking pelvic floor, we're talking glute stability as well, and just having that cardiovascular fitness, and that will stand you in such good stead for that 9 months in front of you.
Well, it helps you for the actual birth process, but also what's to come afterwards as well,
Absolutely.
and the recovery, right? So what we want to do is find out which areas specifically we should be targeting, how to do it. And so I'd like to introduce our pregnancy model, who's going to walk us through the best moves.
I tell you what, my pelvic floor is not what it used to be.
Well, I don't know what you have to blame for that.
I'm going to push out a watermelon in here. All right.
That's a teeny tiny
Hey, don't
one.
touch it. No one gives you that right.
Sorry.
There is a real watermelon in there, by the way. So he's literally about 10 kilos. He's about 10 kilos heavier than he normally would be. But, David, as you know, as the pregnancy develops, you might get up to 20 or even 30 kilos heavier.
What?
Yes, so we need to get you in tip-top shape, my friend.
So what
Okay, what are we going to do?
Why are my legs banded here?
All right, so the main thing when
Because
it
of your
comes
pelvic floor.
to pregnancy, pelvic floor
it
is
doesn't
really
fall through.
good,
Yep.
but glute stability, glute and hip stability is really important. So I'm going to show you a couple of great moves, and these are great for anyone, even if you're not pregnant, if you just want to protect your back a little bit. So we're going to start with some squats, David. So feet about shoulder width apart, and the band down near your knees, okay? And by pushing out on the band, your glute medius gets activated. So just a little squat like this, sorry to push you out
I'm
of
not
the
going
way
to do
there.
this. I've already had two babies.
You don't want to join in?
Yeah.
Okay, what we're doing there is we're working that glute medius. So we'd be doing some of these and you're keeping your belly button in while you're doing that. Okay. Oh, what was that
I'm not
sound?
sure.
Okay, now we're going to move
If
down.
my water's break, is it watermelon juice?
Let's move this down now
Move
into
it down
our
where?
ankles.
Ankles?
Okay, so this is another great one for knee, ankle, and hip
It's not
stability.
easy, is it, Dave?
No, it's not easy,
No.
you guys.
So we're going to do crab walk. So down like this, and then keep tension in the back, and just little shuffles to the side. There we go. Can you feel that in your glutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
And,
feel
and,
it
and, and my hips too.
Yeah, that's
My
good.
hips are bearing a lot of load
Oh.
at the moment.
Okay.
So this is fantastic, and we're also thinking about our pelvic floor.
I've left bars this way, by the way, you guys. Like,
So, David, I want you to think about the person getting in the lift.
get in the lift.
The lift doors close.
Lift doors closed.
And the lift goes up.
What lift are you talking about?
Your
I'm lifting?
pelvic floor.
You are the lift.
That was your
Oh,
pelvic
God.
floor. Can
Oh,
you
I
feel?
I can feel that.
All right.
I don't
Let's
think I've
ditch
felt that in quite a while.
let's ditch the band.
Ditch the band.
And we're going to do our last one, which is drinking bird.
What?
Okay, so stability is really important
Let's get
because
back here in the light.
okay,
Okay.
stability is really
you
important.
worried
Why
about
don't
how you
stand
look
side
right
on? Stand side on for me like this.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to lift one foot off the floor, and you're going to do what's called a drinking bird. No, follow me like this.
Oh, sorry.
And you're going to go
That's
down and up.
Hinge at the hips.
Okay, yep. Now this is great for hip, ankle, and knee stability.
I mean,
That's
honestly,
it,
you'd feel a bit insecure if you were pregnant.
That-
How many months along would you stop doing
You
that?
start doing this before you fall pregnant, and that's why it's really important to do these exercises.
I didn't want to tell you how I felt pregnant. That's another story in itself, girls.
But all this work on stability,
Flip to the other side.
strength, and cardiovascular fitness. Okay, working on your posterior
God.
chain as well.
Oh.
Okay, so what do we have to think about, Niels?
Yes.
When it comes to like overextending.
So,
What are the risks?
so always speak to your specialist
No
before you
burpees.
start, and definitely no burpees. The main thing is pelvic floor trauma, so you've got to be really careful to not do any high impact activity,
Yeah.
because obviously your pelvic floor is under an immense load. Overheating and dehydration are the two big factors to consider as well. And then really you don't want to start anything new, as you just discovered, because your body center of gravity is changing. You want to try to go into the pregnancy already in a decent shape. But they would be the main ones. Honestly, the benefits...
If you can do early movement early
And
on,
stick
in
to
the
the
early
kind of
part,
exercise
then you can ramp up a little bit as it goes.
Correct. So, for example, I had 4 babies in 5 years. So, and I used to jog before I fell pregnant. So I could jog at the start of my pregnancy, but even I stopped. But then someone who's never jogged before, of course, they're not going to start jogging when they fall pregnant.
Yeah.
That's why if you're doing your Pilates is great, yoga is great, but there's some fantastic websites and resources resources. Mum Safe by Jen Duggard is a great one. The Pregnancy Process by Tammy is a great one as well. So,
Right.
you know, go and speak to the experts.
So cute, looks just like you.
Looks really like me.
Studies watermelon. Wow, that's lovely. Thank you, Mills.
No worries.
I would love to know what your wife thinks about all of this, having carried actual twins.
Oh my God, that was like 2 watermelons out here. She looked like Mr. Greedy. Remember those little Mr. Men books?
Yes. But beautiful.
Mills.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mills.
gorgeous.
When we return, the latest 9 News headlines. We're back.